Now we're being recorded and you feel free to share. Yeah.
Do you guys think most people are here at this point, or you want me to wait? Or should we wait? It is 2:01 and I want to make sure you guys get out of here on time. I'm sure on a Friday and so close to the end of the semester. All right. You can go. Okay. All right, so for today, I was planning on just having a work session, so I don't really have a presentation that I'm planning to give or anything like that, but it's more, I'm hoping that you brought your kind of a plan for which learning outcome you want to assess in which course so that we can get those assigned today in Anthology outcomes. So what I was thinking is that I kind of have, so Anthology doesn't have a test site, which makes everything a little complicated for training, testing, all of those things. But I have loaded some dummy data in here that I'm hoping will allow me to demonstrate. If it doesn't go well, I might ask for one of you to volunteer your program and show everybody how to do an assignment while I do your assignment for you. So first of all, if you haven't already logged into Anthology Outcomes, it is uidaho.campuslabs.com. And then that's the home page, and you would just click on Outcomes. Oh, sorry. So it should also be up there on your screen. And yours may or may not look like this. I have the results center pulled up. I'm actually going to change it, but I just wanted to leave it up here in case you got this. I'm going to change this to the full site, and maybe this is what yours looks like, which if that's the case, this is where we want to be. So if you did log in and you have the results center, please also switch it to full site. The results center is just a quick form for pulling data over from Canvas for your course. It's not for doing any sort of administrative task. So you'll want the full site.
Does it matter if we don't have this?
Yours is just like, yeah, it's fine. Let me take a look.
Under the star, here. Then actually, if you and then scroll down, you should see everything you can go on.
Yeah, no, he said this, he got this mostly planned working session.
Great. Yeah, that's what I was. And then that's, you know, on the separate. Yeah. But it does look like you don't have the right access.
Okay. So once you're logged in, over here, there is this little star in the middle. I mean, I guess first you want to make sure you're in the correct year. It should default to 22-23, but in case you were last in here in a prior year, it might default to a prior year. So just making sure we're all looking at the same year, 22-23, and then click on your star menu. And those are all the programs that you should have permissions for. Now, if you have access to a whole department, which many of you might, the department would be listed here. You would click on the department, then click on the org chart, and you should be able to see everything underneath that department. It's just a shortcut. You could also start at the org chart and search for it, but it should be much quicker if you go to the star and navigate from there. Then I guess once everybody's there, I noticed that I might need to give a few people permissions. Some permissions might need to be adjusted. So I'm gonna just kind of scan around the room to see how many are in that situation.
Do you have access to it? Yeah, it's like blue and the figures that are from the word or consider incorrect in this one, but you're correct. So you guys just changed them recently. I wonder if that they were still.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what we're at.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Sarah, this is Melissa. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Are you in Canvas right now?
No, I'm in Anthology Outcomes.
And how do we find that link?
So it's uidaho.campuslabs.com. It should be up there in the URL also.
Thank you.
Yep. So, okay, but they're not, so your links, once you get into your program, so you'll want to choose the Volt Center to same. If you click on the edge D here, you get here. We need the. And then here is the certificate, is that one? Oh, so that one you do that. So long as the links are. Oh, I see. And you guys. We put on the, like. Okay. Okay. Bethany, did you have a question?
Yeah, Sarah, so I'm think I'm in the right place. It just looks like our PLOs haven't been uploaded yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Ones you just, yeah, they're not in there yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna fix a couple people's permissions real quick and then we will keep moving. Mm. And Ray, are you supposed to have access to all of CNI, right? That would make sense. Okay.
Yeah, those are yeah, you should also. Yeah. Yes.
If you refresh it, it should, did it take you back to the form?
Oh. I don't know. I don't know. If you want to try that. Okay.
Let me know. And I actually thought I gave you, I'm surprised that you needed to have permissions, because I remember doing it.
Well.
Yeah. I'm really confused about that too. Okay. So you would just have all emphases and Kate would have the other one, or you guys both kind of work together on both of them? Yeah. It, maybe because I'm in here,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so I would have the all emphases and Kate would have the Pete.
okay,
But I think it's fine if you want to just give it to both of us. It doesn't matter either way.
okay. I'll just, yeah, if you, then you can see each other's if you kind of talk about stuff and, okay. So does anybody online, if you've gotten into your program, if you notice that your learning outcomes are all black statements and there's no hyperlink to click into an outcome, can you let me know if you need, that would mean that you need access? Like if you're not able to click into anything?
Yeah, my screen doesn't look anything like yours. I don't know how to get to where you are.
Oh, I'm on it. You don't have, this is the permission screen. I'm giving people permissions right now, but your screen, let's see, should look something like. So if you're here and you go to your star menu, you would see what you have permission for here. And so you should have your program listed here. Do you have any of your, is like your department or any of the degrees, are they listed there, or is it just your classes?
Sarah, I'm unsure if I have mine linked. Oh, wait a second, something just, oh.
Okay, so I think I don't think it's probably that number. So do they go to the word? Should give you a little bit.
All right, so I think everybody has access now. If not, and if you're, let's see, I'm just gonna check the chat here. Okay, Melissa, did you find, were you able to find your star menu? All right, so from your programs screen here, you should see your learning outcomes. So I'm going to click here on this, a dummy program. So this one's called Career Ready. If you click on your program over here under your star menu, if you have a major or degree listed, you can go directly that way. If you have a department listed here, you'll want to click on the org chart and then scroll down through all of your degrees that you have permission for and select the one that you want to work with. Once you've done that and you're looking at the program you want to work with today, you should see your learning outcomes here in the middle. Obviously yours will be different, but what's important is that you have this blue hyperlink and the outcome statement below. The blue hyperlink means you have permission to go in and work with this item. If it's just, if you can't click on it, then you don't have permission. All right, so we're going to go in and to this outcome here.
Sarah, I'm still not on that page yet. Can we back up just a second?
Yeah.
I logged in and then I went to the upper left-hand corner and clicked. And when I did that, I got a page that says baseline, faculty, engage, outcomes, rubrics. So
Okay.
where do I go?
So you want to click on outcomes.
Okay.
And then you might see, depending what it shows you, you might see this. If you see this, you'll want to click full site.
Wait, when I see this, I'm having to go between two screens. So when you say click, when I might see this,
You might
I'm not
see that.
seeing that. And let me see if I can make that where I can see it. It's so small. Just a sec. Ah, yes, I see that.
Okay, so then go ahead up here to view mode and change it to full site.
Okay.
Okay, and once that loads, you have this little star menu here. So you'd want to click on the star.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, and then do you see your degree programs, the one that you're planning on working with today listed, or a department?
Let me click to that screen. Hold on.
Okay.
See, spring. Let's get started. Ah, I just did a loop right back to the outcomes. Hold on. Okay, I did outcomes. Now I'm on select a course. Mine just doesn't look like yours.
So I didn't select a course. That's why I'm asking, do you have any degree programs listed or do you just have courses?
When
you
I
wanna share-
click, when I click on the outcomes, I just I have a list. It says course selection, outcomes, assessments, result, support, remove, approve.
So I haven't clicked on any outcomes yet. Maybe you're ahead of me. Is that possible?
I haven't seen that screen yet that you're on, so I don't know. I haven't seen the one where, I mean, I went in before, like a few years ago, and I entered all the outcomes, and
Yeah.
I recognize that page, but I haven't been able to get to it.
So did you get to the star?
No.
Do you want to share your screen? Because I'm not sure what.
Sure.
See.
Let me
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing here for just a minute.
Okay. I keep getting host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, is it possible to make it so that they can screen share? That's not
Advance.
The more they learn, the better. Okay, maybe try again. Thanks.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, here I am.
Okay, so yeah, if you go down to outcomes, click on outcomes, which I think you said you already went there, but yep. And then here you want to switch the view mode from Results Center to Full Site. It's the only drop down box. It's over on the right-hand side. It says View Mode Results Center, but if you click on the Results Center, it lets you change it to Full Site. Yeah.
Ah, there's my star.
There's your star. Okay. Go ahead and click on your star. And it looks like you have access to all those degree programs listed. So yep, if you click on the MEd there, then you should see the outcomes. And it looks like you do have permissions because they're blue links. So it looks like you're all set. And
Oh,
this is
great.
where we're at right now.
Thank you so much. I'll do the stop share.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going in here and again, I'm just demonstrating how to assign an outcome. So if you don't already have that out, like what outcome you want to assign to what course, go ahead and make sure you have that information so that you can follow along with this next step. So what you would want to do is click on the program learning outcome that you wish to assign to a course this semester for assessment purposes. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to select my dummy outcome 1 here. And if you can do the same for your real live outcome, that would be great. Okay, and then I'm going to, I mean, at this point, when you're assigning things, this is usually done before the data is collected. So I would come down here, most likely then you're assigning to spring 23 for collection this semester. And sorry, I have already apparently done something in here. I just need to delete something out. So bear with me. Sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully you see something like this on your screen. No? I see one. No? Yes. Okay, good, good. What do you see? Sorry. No, it's okay. Should have elementary, but it doesn't either.
Sarah, can I ask a quick question? This is Krista Soria.
Yeah.
So we have access to departments, but not programs. Is that right?
You have access to, well, if you have access to a department, then you would also have access to everything in that department. So what you would need to do if you're seeing a department listed here is click on the department, then click on the org chart. And then you should see everything inside that department. It'll show you there.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, you bet. I'm just fixing some permissions for someone real quick here. So should you have the whole department or just the elementary and secondary? Just elementary, okay. All right, so yes, that should fix that. All right, so back to this screen. Hopefully everybody else sees something like this. And so there are several options here on this screen, and I'll explain what those are. The first one means that the program, will provide assessment data. That means you're not going to get it from a faculty member. You're not going to attach it to a course. You're just going to manually enter it in here under the program learning outcome. The second box is the LMS outcomes import. If you were going to pull this data from something you assessed over in Canvas, you could use that button, but at this moment, we're going to be working with the connection one, which is where you as the assessment coordinator are assigning this program learning outcome to a course that's going to contribute that data, whether that data comes from their Canvas site or whatever, the connection you make is the same way. So you're going to assign the program learning outcome to a course.
We choose everyone, can we do assessment and connection?
So you can, but you would first have to do one and go all the way through it and then go and set the second one up. Yep, good question. Okay, so I'm going to click on connection. And then assign. This is what I talked about last time. Assigning is kind of a proactive thing. You're assigning something to a course, and it's going to be very clear that that assignment is made, and all the data that's entered is going to show up under the program. Relate is used if you're going to take some data that somebody has already entered somewhere and you're going to find it and try to pull it into the program after the fact. So I'm going to click assign. And here you should see the courses listed, and actually, because this is dummy data, it doesn't quite drill down to what we need, which is unfortunate. But you should see courses here, and we don't assign to courses, we assign to sections. Anybody have an idea why that is? Why do we want to get data from a section, not a course? Because faculty are assigned at the section levels, right? There could be multiple sections for a course. So for somebody to give data, or for the computer to know like who this is supposed to go to, we have to assign it to a section. So my screen only shows courses. The C in front of the course says this is the course level. You should have a little arrow here that allows you to open up your course because it's real data, and there should be sections listed underneath. I'm just going to walk around and make sure everybody has sections. You don't have courses. Oh, yes. Okay, I remember there wasn't anything in the catalog for that program, so we didn't know what courses to list. Yeah, can you send me the list? I can build it in tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday. How is it? So if you just want to send me what courses you'd like to show up. Yeah. Right now. Yeah.
So I need this.
Just any courses that you might ever want to pull data from it. It's not like you have this as the courses, but if you don't, if we don't put them in there, you can't. Section. Yeah.
Can we choose more than one course?
Yes.
So like really if I do 201, then I can choose a separate course.
Yeah, and again, we want to assign it, so you want to open up the arrow and assign it to section.
Oh, not the.
Not the course. Yeah, so if you open up that with the arrow.
Should be on.
But it won't, you won't know who the instructor, but you know the person on it. So you want to click on. And it's okay, you have to go along with the section, and then if you go back to the degree.
I don't
Not yet. Open up the next one, and when you're done adding. So, perfect, you would just click on the little arrow to the left of the course.
I'm just making.
Okay.
So, I enter on the. What you can, in that specific course, 15.
If you had entered, maybe instead of going into a degree program, if you gone into one of your courses, no, that would be courses that you're teaching or that you have access to because you're the department chair. But it would enter data at the course, and it would not connect to the degree program. That's why you only would be assigned. So if you had a course that you wanted to go to program, you would click the arrow to the left and then. Yeah. It does. And then if it gives you the section, the condition, you have the plus sign on it. And so you would save, and now when that instructor logs in here, well, they would get an email that says, you need to keep this data from the course for this outcome, click this link, and it would take them to that, where they would enter the data, which then would show up here. So this is just the assignment, this is the beginning of the department chair, or the program coordinator role.
Okay, so this is, by the way, really helpful. So I heard your instructions, Philip, I think I'm gonna take vote. Because you look in the catalog and there's no courses listed, so you have no idea. Right?
Yep.
So I can email you the courses
And then-
they'll pop up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, y'all.
So.
That's all.
Is there any here? They just put it on master channel.
Yeah, Okay, so we need to, so they are right in here, but they're not.
Excited because we never quite finished those programs. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good, but you know, I always think
Yeah.
they're not quite ready.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I thought we were with them.
Okay.
And so our strategy for this year, we've got, they're good now, so let's use them, and worry about it. So now I realize they're in. So
Okay.
this is great news for us, because we can just operationalize,
Yeah.
but
They're not.
they're not the same, they're different than the ones that we have.
Okay, can you just shoot me an email if you remember right now, and then I can.
Okay, that, yeah.
And just make sure to put in the email which ones are right, so the ones in Anthology are right, and then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then you have to go again.
No, this is,
Okay.
yeah, very, I'm excited.
You're good?
This is a roadmap.
Yeah, Sarah, I think I can use just.
So,
Yeah.
Friday, so, next Friday, so. We should be in on this. All right.
So she said,
Yeah, so he, those standards that
this
say
is
we just said,
training, yeah.
even if you're not perfect, way better than what you have.
So that means that the courses are in catalog, so.
Yeah, and these standards that we worked on, we never got to the point where we thought, but they're ready. We got to the point where they're still gonna work on it. They have to.
So these were built on. the catalog, yeah.
And so, so I'm circling back to those standards. This next week, we'll have GRPC.
Graduate. level.
And then we could just retry. But.
Yeah. But, and you don't have to like, think heavily hard about whether you want to assess this or you want to send me over the course.
And that's people saying.
Someday I assess, and then they would show up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just make sure they're listed in the meeting.
We change them over time.
But there.
Yeah, and we've got a standing, yeah, this is gonna be so.
Whatever you want to put in there, you gotta keep it real. Yeah, because it's ultimately whatever. Well, annually, then. Yeah. Sort of, actually. This is kind of. But so I just need doesn't have that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you just send them in. Anything on this one? I think so. If I do this, should still by trying to force. It would go up there, but it looks like it, yeah, he started to get finished, so he said either by the connections. Blue buttons. Oh, the two off. So maybe. We want to open up. Yes. So when you can. That's. And then. So that assignment, that could be, you know, I mean, that is the role, that would be, you would be done for the semester. I mean, in terms of that role of coordinating this, then the faculty would get an email that, that they would need to contribute data for the item.
So this will send them.
Yes.
So I teach in three sections, but I have one lecture. And so together this would be one section.
Seen that the other day. Something further than he's taking them.
And so again, you call it data, there's section here, but it's really one section.
So what happened to her is it said because Canvas only had it in one section, so all the data over into one section, they put it into one section, and so that was fine. Then you can do it with the other ones, because all the data, or all the students, yeah, they just need to be represented.
And so then when I see.
So that means that maybe you added something or moved something around, I think you did. Maybe change the thing, maybe you're meant to work, so. They gotta click one. Yeah, you bet. Okay, so yeah, that's really it.
How do we get the actual data?
So now faculty would receive an email that says, this program learning outcome has been assigned to this section. They would have a link, they would click into it, it would take them to that section, and they would enter the data or pull over their data from their Canvas course. So if you assigned it to yourself, which you send it to him. If you assign it to yourself, then you would be doing both roles. So what that would look like is, I have a couple questions real quick online. Let me ask or answer those real quick. I'm not sure who put their hand up first. So Bethany, you're at the top of the screen there.
So Sarah, I might need to share my screen with you. So I've got two things going on. So when I go into so I'm just in the MED Ed leadership, and I know that the PLOs are not right now, but I was just playing around. So when I click on my outcome, I don't get the option of those three things. So it's not allowing me to, you know how you had the three boxes, which I was going to pull from the LMS, I was going to connect. It's just sending me someplace. I'm not quite sure. And then there's no courses listed.
Yep, there's no courses listed. Juhi was just showing me that. It's because there were no courses listed in the catalog for the curriculum at the time that this was developed. So we were just talking about if somebody could send me a list of courses that you might want to see show up there. You don't have to assess them, but they would be available to assess in the future.
So, and I'm correct, and I really don't want to do anything until those PLOs are uploaded that I sent over earlier this week.
Yeah, you won't be able to assess them until they get uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Melissa?
Yeah, my question has to do with when we're back on the last screen that you were on, where you had all of the pluses. The data would be coming from this coming fall semester, but I had selected spring 2023. So do I need to go back, or will this carry over to the next semester, or how does that work? Because 511's offered in the fall.
So you want to retroactively collect data from fall?
Not really. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, you can. Is this something you're going to be submitting, or is a faculty member going to be submitting, or?
Well, I'll be submitting it.
Okay.
I'll be submitting it, but it's not linked to the rubrics in the class this semester.
Okay. Okay, so you could go then to
It's on
fall
next semester, see, so I don't know.
and you would just want to assign it to something in fall.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So I think, again, that's how you do the assignments. Now I can show you what that looks like in terms of if you're also going to be the faculty member submitting data. So you would go into, again, under, if it's you, well, actually, anyone here at U of I, if they're teaching a course, and they're going to submit data, they can do the same thing. They can go to their star menu. If they're not responsible for a program, all they're going to see is their course sections that they teach. So you would click into, but I'm talking to those here. So you are assigning and assessing. So whichever course you, whichever section you assigned that program learning outcome to, you would now want to select the section under the star. So I'll just, I'm gonna look for one that I might have an assignment in here. Okay, so if you click on your section. Actually, I might have just deleted my assignment. Does anyone have that pulled up that would be willing to share their screen?
It just says.
Yes. Would you mind sharing your screen? That's exactly what we want to see. Because you want the red mark up there, right? But not before you share.
How do I share?
You're not trying to, well, actually, I think I could pull up that, what class is that? I can show that. Was it section spring? Okay. So hopefully your course looks your screen looks something like this. And this is what your faculty would see too if you made an assignment. And they would click here. Sometimes it's, if they've clicked here before, it would default here, but if they haven't, they would click here. The little red box only shows up when something's been assigned, and it shows them the number of outcomes that have been assigned. So if they click on this box, and I guess I should also note that anyone who's teaching a gen ed course that's been submitting data, gen ed uses the same process. So this will be familiar to those faculty who have been participating in the gen ed assessment. So anyway, by clicking here, they can see the 3 learning outcomes that were assigned. In this case, again, there's 3, you might only have 1. We talked about assigning 1. And you would click on the outcome that you want to assess. If you have several and you're not really sure from the title which one is which, you can open it, read it, and be like, no, that's not the one I wanted to submit data for, and click on the next one. And okay, this is the one I wanted to do. It looks like it's leadership and collaboration. And so they, or you in this case, would go through a very similar process. It's asking, are you going to enter the data in here yourself, like as in manually? Are you going to bring it over from Canvas, or are you going to relate it? It would be very rare that at the course level you would be relating something. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one. So you would come in here, you would put the name. I'll delete this afterwards. Yeah. So you put the name of your assessment. I'm just going to say this was a test. All these instructions are online for faculty, but this is the process. So you would click summative, individual student scores. I'm going to say it's worth points between 0 to 100. And I'm just going to put some values in here, but you probably have a better idea for your assignment as to what you are expecting students to achieve in order to demonstrate this outcome. Once you've done this, you would click on add results. And again, depending where this data is coming from, I'm doing manual entry. Course roster, this loads all the students that were in the course. You would enter their scores, and I mean, there are some narrative boxes here, but again, this is where you make notes for the person who's writing the report. If you are submitting data and writing the report, you don't have to leave yourself notes. You know what I mean? These are really notes for the assessment coordinator because it's designed that somebody else would be submitting this data, doing this part. And so when you hit submit, then it's done for the semester. So that's the faculty piece of it.
Can you show the version or the data would be pulled from Canvas?
So I was going to show you guys a part of it. It is being piloted this semester, so it's not technically rolled out yet. We don't have we don't have any real support for it yet, but I'm gonna just, I guess I'll demonstrate or I'll try with some dummy data here. Okay. Okay, so this is a dummy course in Canvas that I have. And if you're in your Canvas site, I'll go ahead and give you a minute. If you want to pull up your Canvas site, you can look at the same thing in any course that you teach in Canvas.
Want to use, would it help use mine in this rate?
If you want, I mean, I don't have access to anybody else's stuff. Only in Anthology.
Do we have to log into Canvas to do this, or is it through outcomes?
So somebody wanted me to show what it looks like in Canvas. So this would be, you'd have to go into Canvas to do this. This isn't like a department chair thing. This is like faculty pulling data over from Canvas from a course.
Middle button though, did you say when faculty get the email,
Yes, you as the department chair, sorry.
click on the middle button
Let
and
me
it
see.
takes you to outcomes, and shouldn't you be able to just pull it from outcomes? Why would you have to go into Canvas?
Well, because some people are pulling data or they're wanting to pull the data from Canvas. So
That's what I mean. It's once you go into outcomes first,
yeah,
and then pull it in.
but you can't pull somebody else's data from, you know what I
If you're
mean?
The faculty that got the email, I got assigned.
Yes, yes.
To evaluate, I click on the link that was sent to me.
So they can't, they actually have to come into, let me think about this. Yeah, I don't, yeah, in Canvas before you can, yeah.
Will not know that this is the outcome you want to pull from, so you have
Yeah.
to start on Canvas side.
Thank you, that's.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in this Canvas course here, and you would need to you would first need to pull the program learning outcomes that you want to evaluate in Canvas into your Canvas course. So this is each individual person. If you want to pull as a faculty member data from Canvas, you would have to come in here first and do a couple steps to do that. So the first thing you would do is come in here and go to outcomes. And you're welcome to do this to your course. It doesn't actually hurt anything by pulling some outcomes into your course. You don't have to assess them or do anything with them this semester. So if you wanted to do this, feel free to follow along. And you would need to go to find account standards, University of Idaho, find your college, your department, your program. And you can either add individual outcomes or you can add all outcomes. I would recommend adding all outcomes because then they're there for you during the semester. And if you roll this course over, if you copy the course over next semester or a future semester, they're there for you. You don't have to do this step again. It doesn't mean you have to assess them just because you've added them to your course. It just means that they're available to assess in that course. So I'm going to go ahead and add these to my course. It should confirm that they've been added to your course. And now you would be able to provide data for those outcomes from Canvas. You'd have that ability to do that. So you click out with this X. And how you would do that is you would need to have an assignment in here that you can attach a rubric to. So I'm going to demonstrate this piece. And just keep in mind, again, this is still being piloted. So there really isn't, we haven't developed any documentation or videos or anything on this. You're kind of getting, I guess, a sneak peek at this. So I have a rubric in here, which is a good thing. So I could demonstrate this. So I'm going to go to assignments. I'm going to find an assignment. I have this one here that I'll use. I'm going to, oh, sorry, I have to back it up. I have to attach the learning outcome to the rubric first, and then I can attach the rubric to the assignments.
Say that again?
I have to attach the learning outcome to the rubric, and then I can attach a rubric to the assignment. So, gosh, this is really probably confusing people. Sorry about that. I just took you guys down the wrong path. So again, let's back up. I added the outcomes to the course, and then I'm going into rubrics. I'm going to work with this rubric I have, and I'm going to edit the rubric, but of course you could create a new rubric and it would be similar. You'd have to build this out, and I would click find outcome. Here's one of the ones I just added. I don't want to include this outcome in the overall grade for the assignment. So I'm unclicking this box. I'm not using this criterion for scoring. I click import. And now this program learning outcome has been attached to my assignment rubric that I was using in this course. So now that I've done that, I'm going to click update rubric. Now I can go to assignments and do what I would normally do, attach this rubric that I use for this assignment. And there it is. So, I mean, I might have selected the wrong rubric, but here's a rubric with outcomes attached. Now, when you go in to grade the student, everything is the same as it normally would be. You would get the speed grader, you would evaluate the student on the rubric, and the last item on that rubric would be whether or not the outcome was met. So as you're grading the student, like you normally would, you would just collect this additional data piece. Once you've done that, then that data can be ported over to Anthology outcomes. I'm not able to demonstrate the full process because it won't work today for me, so. So maybe again, because it is being piloted, it is so new, we haven't rolled this completely out. Maybe you just have some questions about how things may or may not work. I'm happy to answer any questions you have to see whether or not that might be a good solution for you. The plan is to have this available this fall. Yep, Melissa?
Okay, so what I did was I went to an older class and I added the rubric and just connected the way you had me connect it. So, and because it was fall class. So in the fall coming up, will this automatically transfer over to the new semester, or do I have to go back into Anthology and do something?
The Canvas part?
Right, will it automatically connect everything?
So the Canvas part in the fall, have you already copied? You said this was a fall course. You didn't copy it over for spring. You would copy it over for like fall 23 in Canvas?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went into an old fall class and connected the rubric just because I wanted to figure out how to do this. So now this coming fall, will it automatically be all set up, or do I have to go in and do all this again?
So we haven't tested, I work, CETL is also supporting this effort, and neither of us have tested attaching something to a fall course and rolling a fall course forward. So I can't say for sure. However, I do believe that yes, you should be able to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have one last question. I'm directly training, but is there a way and or advantage to not having the standards show or the outcomes show for the student in the rubric?
That's a good question. And in the pilot group, they have talked about different things, maybe letting students know on the syllabus that this course is used to assess this outcome or something like that. There's not a way to hide the outcome. So the student will see they've been assessed, and that was another discussion in the pilot, is that if you're assessing a mastery level outcome in, say, a 200 level course, and you're not expecting them to master it yet, you're just hoping that they're developing, how is the student going to feel when they see that they have, you know, they got an A on assignment, but they're only like partially met on the outcome? Yeah. So all of that's on the Canvas side, and as far as we know, there's no way to hide that. Any other questions?
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. Have you already scored on this month? Have you already used your equipment? Okay, it's possible that once you use the rubric, that you can't, and it will leave.
It's something really weird.
Oh, you can, you click on the little.
See what you're saying.
Oh.
It's giving points for the outcome, so I'll be remove that if you, there you go.
Cause I just see.
So I'm gonna admit, I'm not, I haven't really been on campus, no, I've been helping with the end of the data. But you should be able to remove that outcome.
I thought we were done with this.
Yeah, you didn't, there's a button you have to click to remove the points, so if you delete it and then hit find out coming in, we can, unclick use this criterion for scoring. And then if you go down and see it, it won't calculate that over into the score. Yeah. Well, my. The way I- moving is sensitive.
That's integrity.
Yeah, I think if it's being used, I've heard that you can't alter it like once it's.
No.
That's all you can.
Yeah, no doubt. It has a house in the- a small half.
So maybe.
Okay, it's not too big.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we learn like outcomes.
Yeah, but, you saw this stuff. It's grassy, but it's mixed in with mulch. It's kind of really, it's an extent of it.
So you have to add the outcomes.
It comes in a
Just have to
thing,
add it to the course
and you
list.
spread it around, spray a little water on it.
So you can.
Well, a couple of weeks. Yeah, it works really well for me. And try to stay this way. I'm sure it's so grassy. It's not just- If you use plain grass seed, you need to scrap, you need to work the surface a little bit. They might do that. Yeah, they probably.
Add all of it. All any-
Yeah.
It's just. It's. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't want to do it something. No, but this, maybe I spent 40 bucks or. It's not like buying the seed. It's the seed is, you get a fraction of the amount of seed and it's got other stuff. It's a little bit like spring. Yeah. In the way I did it, because we had a fancy meeting of that, and underneath the traffic barrier. And so last year I took a break. And I raked up, I didn't dig it up much, but I raked it up enough to where it's broken up a little bit. Let's bought this stuff, I threw it all down and just ready to spread it out kind of even.
Yeah, that's us
All the
all.
lights straight over the top. That's about all I did. About a month later, it's stuck.
And then like, you know, they're just having a colder construction, yeah.
Yeah. Other way to do it, first, like, that's grass and down, and then also by a neighbor to it. And the spring that over the top. Yeah. You just gotta be a little patient with it. But I know what you mean. Yeah, catching the rain on the grass is great. Accelerate the simple process.
Yeah, and then country stop.
Yeah. Try it. Okay, so then, okay, so now we're gonna switch to all of the ballots there.
Yes, and we don't. We were thinking. And it's easy to be.
There's some good programs, but you have an affiliated store, so I'm. Because you don't have to show every possible for the assessment. And we don't have to show that the decisions of business being made off.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah, I do.
show every way.
Doesn't have a frequency, they have either on sale or they have so we were gonna go with the perspective because we have been searching that group and so all students in the meeting and then people we don't need to approve, but we need to try to inform them.
You should be using these 3 points.
That's, it would be there, no ways to edit it around, yeah, we'll, hard code when eventually, and then. Thank you.
Really, let me know. It really takes 5 minutes to sit it down.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Do you know if you have to do it every semester? If you either just default, and if you can connect it, we never specified anything yet, and it's.
No, because you can copy your course.
So this is really able to be,
The anthology
more like
is still used.
mindset language, okay, but, it's not, and we kind of, I think, more. Yeah.
Thank you. Yep, Melissa?
Yes, can I share my screen?
Yes.
Looks like somebody else is still sharing.
Thanks.
Thank you. Let's see if I. Okay, all right. So I selected curriculum instruction, and I selected which learning outcome I wanted, which was curriculum.
Mhm.
And I know it says spring 2023 here, but what I'm really wanting is fall 23. And
Fall?
so,
Yeah, that's not what
because that'll be the next time the class is available to collect data on. And so I didn't know if I was just collecting that one for that particular course. Do I uncheck these or check them? or just select the one class over here?
So you would want to assign it to the course section, so not the course. So you would open up like Ed CI 513, you would open it up with that little arrow to the left of it.
I'm wanting 511.
Well, there's no section, like, as you mentioned, that one's only a fall course and you're looking at, so you can't assign it to a section that's not, that doesn't exist right now, but next
Okay.
fall, you would be able to, like, there'd be an arrow, you could open it up and you could assign it to like Ed CI 51101, if that's what it was.
Perfect. Okay, I feel much better. Thank you.
Yep. And Krista?
Sarah, you mentioned that students can see this. Can you share a little bit more about that? Are you saying that they can see it in Canvas along with their grade if we use the rubric? Or were you saying that they can see this in Anthology or elsewhere? Thank you.
Yeah, no, they can't see it in Anthology. That's not a student-facing product, but in Canvas, they would be able to see the learning outcome and what they got on it. That's why it's, again, I want to reemphasize, this really is being piloted. I was just giving you guys a sneak peek because people asked to look at it. We will give some guidance probably from that pilot on what the group comes up with for best practices. That is an issue that's been brought up several times.
Thank you.
Melissa? Oh, or your hands, it's either still up or.
My
Okay.
bad. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay. All right, well, if there are no other questions, I know it's probably nice to get out a little bit early. Just a reminder, again, this training was really about setting things up as the coordinator or the chair. And that demo probably ended around 2:30. So again, that's just making those assignments. So if you have any questions about that, you can also shoot me an email next week. I'm happy to even meet with somebody one-on-one next week if you're available. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Yep.
Thanks again, Sarah.
Email to get to faculty, because I signed myself a class.
Yeah.
How long does it take for the email to get?
I don't know if you assign it to yourself. I never get them if I assign them to myself, but I've tested some things and gotten lots of people like, why did I get this email? Yeah. So, yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
For working with us and everything you've done.
Oh, you bet.
That was really helpful,
Been, yeah,
very helpful.
and accommodating, understanding.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure. Oh, yes, Bethany. Do you want to send me maybe a couple of times that you're available next week? And trying to think, I should be able to get those loaded. I just haven't had a chance, but maybe let me check my schedule real quick for Monday and see.
When is your last day, Sarah? I can't remember, so I want to be respectful of that as well.
Yeah, let me. So I should have some time on Monday afternoon when I can do that. And then if we wanted to meet. See. I have some time like Tuesday at 1 or Tuesday at 9 or. At 1 o'clock on the 10th.
Let's do, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Just to give, so you have more time, do you want to do 1 o'clock on the 10th?
Yes.
Which is 2 o'clock my time, right? Okay,
Are you down in Boise?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, do you mind just sending me an email so I can remember to get that Zoom link out and everything, but that time will work for me.
Perfect, sounds good. Thanks so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Am I okay ending it, or do you think I should leave it open for a while? Is it okay? Yeah. That was, I think, the, that's who I just was speaking.